Leilani, thank you for coming. We've been trying to coordinate this for a little bit.
Of course, thank you for having me.
It's like I was telling you before we started recording. We're huge fans of you in this house because half the house is Peruvian. So whenever we have a match and we know that you're gonna fight, we're always watching them. So for us, it's good to have you here.
I love that.
To speak with you and get to know you a little bit better. So I always start the podcast this way, is kind of like getting an understanding of how you started, why you started, where you started, and we can go from there.
Okay. So I started training when I was 18. I just started college, so it was like the first year of college, literally.
Here or in Peru?
No, in Peru.
Okay.
Yes, first year of Jiu-Jitsu. Now, why did I start Jiu-Jitsu? I used to surf a lot, but I was going to med school. So the schedule, it was just like hard to fit it in.
Okay.
And I've always done sports my whole life. I've done gymnastics, surf, swimming, volley, like any sport you can think of, I've done it. So at that time, I was looking for something new. I've always have been interested in martial arts, but I never done them before. So I was like, okay, this is the year of trying something new. And I went to my first class. It was with Marlon Ribeiro.
Okay.
I don't know if you know him, but he's like a Brazilian dude that lives in Peru like forever.
Yeah.
And I remember that I got there, and the first class was pretty much like a private class. It was just like me and him, and he taught me like so much. I didn't understand anything that happened in that class, but I just knew that I loved it.
Yeah.
And they told me like, hey, you have like a free week, you know, you can like try out a couple more times before signing up. And I was like, no, I'm ready. Please just take my money. I want to do this.
Take my money.
Yeah, just like, please, I want this. And after that, I have just been training nonstop. Like, I was those students that shows up every day. If they like have a day off that they don't have to go to school or anything, I'm gonna be there all the classes. And that was me since day one. And he also was the one that motivated me to do like my first jiu-jitsu competition.
So I have a bunch of questions about Peruvian, like jiu-jitsu in Peru.
Okay.
But let me see if I can break this down so that it's simpler. So you were that first week, you started jiu-jitsu, you fell in love with it. What was it that kind of made you fall in love with jiu-jitsu and that what was it? Because you can try other sports and it's not.
Yes, I think it was the part that it's a sport that is not just physical, but also mental. Like, you have to think a lot, and it's a lot of strategy. And it's like, if they do this, you do that. And then you have to do this to get there.
Right, you got that like the first week, that's what you fell in love with? You just knew that?
Yes, yes.
That's cool.
It was pretty much that, because like, really, we just did close guard. So it was like, it's not like a lot physically, but mentally, the technique, I just loved it. And also like the idea of just being able to control someone. I don't know, I just fell in love with that.
Yeah, that's a good point. Like, once you understand, and especially when you do your first like week of jiu-jitsu and you don't know any jiu-jitsu, you see what they're able of doing to you, like pinning you, and you're not able to escape. Knowing that you can learn jiu-jitsu and then have the capacity
to
be able to apply
that,
it to other people.
I thought I was crazy. Like, it was literally like nothing that I have ever done before was similar to that.
Yeah, there's nothing like that.
And I loved it.
But what's crazy is that you said you started surfing. Like, there's such a crossover from surfing and jiu-jitsu.
I know, so many like surfers do jiu-jitsu.
Yeah, and they always find a balance too.
Yeah,
right?
but yeah, I don't know. I think they just connect. How? I have no idea.
I don't
but
either.
It's the same vibe.
But yeah, that's exactly what I was going to say. It's like the same vibe. Culturally, it's like the same type of like attitude. I grew up in Puerto Rico. I didn't surf like tabla. They call it tabla, like tabla. I did bodyboard.
Okay.
But all my friends were surfers, and it's the same type of like community that it is in jiu-jitsu. Now, I have a question about Peruvian jiu-jitsu. Jiu-jitsu in Peru, not Peruvian jiu-jitsu, but jiu-jitsu in Peru. So, I heard, and I don't know if this is true, that most of the academies over there, because you started in Peru, right?
Yes.
So most of the academies over there are like no-gi focused. Is that true?
Not at all.
No? The guy that told me that was lying.
Maybe now.
Okay.
Like, maybe now they're starting to do a lot of no-gi, especially because ADCC is like growing so much. But when I used to train there, and that was like 2018 to 2020, it was all gi.
Oh, okay.
Like most schools only did no gi one day, and it was Fridays.
Very traditional.
Very traditional, yeah. Like you have the whole week of gi, and then you have like no gi Fridays.
Which makes sense to me because Peru is right there with Brazil. Like it's close by, you know what I mean? So you would think that the influence, that traditional Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu influence, would go over to Peru, and it would be that structure of class, because that's the way. I mean, when I started, it was like very Gracie oriented, so it was like just like you said, like gi every day except for Friday.
Yeah, and also like the higher ranks, like they were Brazilians, and they're the ones that taught like the other Peruvians how to do jiu-jitsu, and then like they keep growing on the ranks. But I would say like the heads, like the professors, they're all Brazilians, so they just like pull that culture to Peru.
Yeah, that makes sense. And is it big? Do you see it like there's a growing component to it? Is it growing over there in Peru?
It's growing.
Was it
growing a lot? Like a lot.
Yeah?
Yes.
And where do you think that influence is coming from?
I have no clue. Like honestly, I have no clue. But when I used to train there, like none of my friends did jiu-jitsu at that time. Like my friends from school and college and like just life. And now that I'm going back or just like seeing Instagram and everything, I feel like everybody is doing jiu-jitsu.
Yeah, man.
Like everybody. People I like would have never imagined doing it. Like they're doing it and they're loving it. So it's just growing like all over the place in tournaments as well.
Yeah.
Like before there was like this one organization that was the TBJJP.
Okay.
And it's like the IBJJF there.
Okay.
So they did like their nationals and their opens and all that. Now there's so many tournaments.
Yeah.
Like all rule sets.
Didn't you compete over there recently?
Yes, I go all the time.
Yeah.
I do all the AGPs there because of the ranking.
Okay.
And I'm also doing the ADCCs.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
Last year was the first ADCC they did there.
And how was the competition?
It was cool because there's like no ranks. You know, if you go advanced, you can fight anybody. So it's just like all the girls together. There were so many girls.
Yeah.
And they had such a good level. Like I had some hard fights.
Were you expecting that?
No, I wasn't.
You weren't? You went over there, like, oh, it's gonna be easier.
Dude, I signed up to 3 divisions, thinking like this is gonna be easy peasy. I signed up to the 60 kilos, 65, and then I did the open class.
Oh man! So how many fights is that?
It was
like how many matches? Like
okay. So in the 60, it was 3 matches. In the 65, it was just 1, which is crazy because like the girl I fought on the 65 looked like way smaller than all the girls I fought in the 60 kilos. So I don't know what she was doing.
She signed up
there.
for the wrong one.
Yeah, she probably was like, oh, there's nobody here. It's gonna be like a Nisi division. I was like, hi. So
poor girl.
That's just 4, and in the open class, it was another 3. So 7.
In one day?
In one day, and I was also refereeing.
Oh man, that's a long day. Dude.
It was a long day, yes.
How do you manage? Like, I'm sure they probably know. I mean, that when you're gonna fight, when your matches are, so they're not gonna coordinate for you to referee at the same time.
Yeah. So the thing is that usually in ADCC, like if you're working, you can't fight.
Oh, okay.
But in Peru, all the people that were gonna work were athletes. So like, they wanted to fight. Like that was the main reason they were going to, and the work was like an extra.
Yeah.
So if they said if you work you can fight, nobody was gonna work.
Right.
So they were like, okay, you can fight if you're working, and yeah, they just give you like a break. I was literally like refereeing from 9 a.m. to like 11. Then I took a break to do my 2 divisions. Then I went back to working until 8 p.m. then I did the absolute, and it was like, okay, I'm done for the day.
So you were destroyed after that day, man.
I was. Like the next day, I fell asleep and I didn't wake up until Tuesday.
So wait. So that was
a Saturday. That was a Saturday. Sunday, I was in bed. I woke up on Tuesday. Like Monday, whole day sleeping. Yes, it was a lot.
I mean, that with the combat, you could understand with the amount of fights or the amount of matches that you had that day alone would rectify you staying like asleep, and then add the coaching onto that.
Yeah, no, it's a lot, and especially ADCC.
Yeah.
Like the matches are just crazy.
Yeah.
You just go. They're like non-stop all the time. So yeah.
Talking about ADCC, I watch a couple of you're starting to upload matches recently, right?
I did on YouTube.
Yeah. So I was doing research for that. We were supposed to do it last week, so I was doing research on or looking, just preparing myself for this episode. And I noticed one thing, and I kind of want to ask you about it. Is you have a really good ability in the scramble, whether it's they initiate the scramble, or defensive, or you initiate the scramble, but you always find a way to kind of end up in the dominant position. And I'm just wondering why. Like you did that in I don't know if it was West Coast trials or East Coast trials. You had a match. I think every match has a scramble that you end up dominating that scramble. And then also in the one that you're talking about as well, you had a crazy scramble. They almost took your back, but you had the wherewithal to stay in place.
So if you want to know how I do it, I have no clue. Like, if I'm being honest, I have no clue how I end up on a good position, but I usually do.
Well, yeah, you usually end up in a good position.
So I just keep doing it. I don't know what I'm doing, but I'm doing it, and
yeah,
it's working.
It's a scramble. I guess you're not gonna know.
It's a scramble. You can't, but like if I have to close my eyes and picture myself in a scramble and like what am I looking for? I'm looking for arms. So that's how I see it. Okay, like it's a scramble. Where are the arms, and how can I set up the armbar from there?
Yeah.
So from thinking that, I usually end up either on the armbar, on a triangle, or on the back.
Yeah.
So that works
it's
for
good.
me.
Whatever works.
That works for me.
Yeah, and I also think there's a component of, because there was one scramble that was extremely long. I don't know if it was the one that was the ADCC in Peru.
Okay.
But there was one that was extremely long, and it's also a case, at least in my opinion, you can tell me if I'm wrong, but that you're not willing to stop in the scramble. No. Like most people will give up a position or just give up some, like just to rest. You just continue through the scrambles.
Like if I'm in a scramble, I'm not gonna stop until I'm in the good position. Like I'm not stopping on a bad position. Sorry, but fuck that.
Yeah, I mean that's one of your best. I mean, you're obviously a very well-rounded grappler, but your capacity in the scramble is insane, dude.
Yes, it's my talent.
You're good in chaos.
I'm good in chaos. Yes, you could say that.
It was wild because every scramble. It was so much that I noticed the pattern. You know what I mean?
Okay, and you know what? Like, I've been uploading the fights on YouTube, but I'm not like promoting it on Instagram or anything. It's just like raw YouTube. People love the videos that I'm getting beat up, and I just like scramble my way out to like score or sub out of there. But they love those videos. I have some fights that I dominate the whole fight, 100 views. I have the fight with Tesha Alo, the one with like the red singlet. She beat me up the whole fight. Like I won on the overtime by a scramble. 10K views.
But I think it's because when you dominate the fight, like it's not as for a person that's watching it, right?
And like that's boring.
It's like you're dominating. It's not. But when there's a scramble the scrambles are wild. When there's a scramble and then you end up winning, I saw that one too. That's one of the one I was talking about. Like she's losing this match, and I didn't know the outcome of that one when I was watching it. And then I'm like, again, the scramble. What the fuck, dude?
That was a good fight. That was a good fight.
Yeah, it looked intense.
Yeah.
It looked intense. How did you feel after that one?
Oh, I was exhausted.
Yeah, dude.
I was exhausted because I only learned how to wrestle for ADCC, and it was like end of 2023, like literally December, January, and February from 2024. Like those were the 3 months that I learned how to wrestle, because you can't go to ADCC and not know how to wrestle.
Yeah, the rules set won't let you.
Yeah, you get to the final, and what are you gonna do? Pull guard?
Yeah.
Like no, you can't. You need to learn that. So I went to the trials and I saw this girl with the singlet, and I was like, okay, she's definitely a wrestler, you know. But I was like hoping she was not in my division. I was just like watching her fight along the tournament, and then I do my first fight of the day against Brittany Johnson, and I thought she looked huge compared to me.
Yeah.
And that was like a very exhausting match, because like I was trying to do something, but she was like just so hard to do. So that match was also like a scramble, like 6 minutes of scramble. And then I have like a couple minutes to rest, and then I go to the mat. I see on the other side, and it's the red singlet girl. And I was like, guys, come on. Like now, like after what I just did, I have to go and fight her.
Yeah. So that match was after a really active match that you had.
Yes. And then this match was also like very, very active.
Yeah.
And then like I finished that one, I was like trying to catch my breath, and then I had to go to the semifinals against Mo Black.
I saw that.
Yeah, which I already fought her on the other trials, like not the West Coast, but the East Coast trials.
Yeah.
And fighting her was such like a crazy experience because I literally felt like I couldn't do shit.
Yeah.
Like I couldn't do anything to her.
Was it because you were tired, or was it just?
No, she has like this type of style that she doesn't really engage. You know, like she engages, so the ref thinks she's engaging, but then she goes back. And then she comes forward, and then she goes back, and then she comes forward. And we were like that the whole 6 minutes, and then we went to overtime.
Oh, dude.
Exactly. And then now I'm like, okay, I'm gonna have to wrestle her. I tried. I took a shot. It went bad. She ended up on my back. And then I couldn't shake her off my back.
Yeah.
She didn't sub me, but I couldn't take her off my back, and she won because of those points.
Yeah.
So then I met her, like, I fought her again on the West Coast trials after these 2 fights, and now I'm like, okay, I know it's coming. I'm tired, but I'm ready for it.
And how was that?
I think I did better.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, she still won. She still took my back.
Yeah. No, but I think I agree.
I did way better.
Well.
Yes.
I think you did well. And
maybe the third one is mine.
And it's crazy that you decided to jump into. Well, I mean, it's obvious. Like, if you want to get to the highest level of the sport, you have to do ADCC, right?
You gotta do.
So
ADCC,
like,
yes.
you made the decisions like I need to make this wrestling part of my camp in order to get to that level, which is obviously the goal of ADCC. So, what was the training like when you decided to pick up wrestling?
So at that time, I was training at Fight Sports, and Wagner Rocha, he was pulling the Nogi Pro training.
Okay.
And his whole family did ADCC, so that's like all they were thinking about. And he knew he had to get everybody's wrestling good. So pro training was just that.
It was
just wrestling. Like wrestling and how to create openings from it. You know, okay, let's say like you're not the best wrestler, but maybe you can get to the back from there. You know, maybe you can do a counter and get something from there. So he just like tried to see what worked for everybody.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, and I think mine was like getting something out of it. Like I wasn't gonna take a wrestler down with my 3 months of wrestling, but I could get somewhere. Like I could get to the back, and from the back I could start attacking the back, which I know how to do.
Which is smart. Like if you have 3 weeks to prepare for ADCC, you're obviously not gonna turn into a collegiate wrestler in 3 months, right? So you have to kind of adapt it to whatever it is, your game or whatever it is that you can get to. So that's a smart approach. I can imagine that training was grueling.
No, it was good. It helped me so much.
Yeah.
Like, I can take people down now. I couldn't do that before. That's crazy.
You submit them, but getting to the ground was
no, but honestly, if I have a fight and I take somebody down, that's going to be like more important for me than subbing them. Like, if I do that and then I armor them, it's like, yeah, an armor, but I took them down.
It also looks cool.
Yeah, it looks cool for the highlights, for its best.
Yeah, it looks cool. So, I know that you've been to like Outer Haven, you're at Fight Sports, and you're at Atos now. I'm kind of curious to kind of get your mindset when it came to like what did you pick up from those schools that you think are like valuable, or you know what you think how they contributed to your style. Okay, wait. I think it's probably better that I ask. You were training in Peru.
Yes.
Okay, you were training there, and then you came to the United States. Let's talk about that process, and organically that will all come out.
Okay, so I came to the United States not to do Jiu-Jitsu professionally, actually.
Oh, look at you now.
Yes, I came to study biology.
Oh, nice.
I wanted to be a marine biologist. Yeah, because I was going to med school, but then I decided that I didn't want to spend my whole life in a hospital.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And now I'm like, you know what, I'm just gonna like...
Wait, so you were in med school in Peru?
Yes, I did 3 years of med school.
Oh, wow.
Jiu-Jitsu was just a hobby.
Wow.
Like, I was competing and I was killing it. I was winning everything, but it was just a hobby. Like, just my activity. You know, to have like some physical activity.
Yeah.
And then I came here to do the new career, but I had to wait like a year so I could like count as a resident, so I could get help from the government.
Right.
And in that year, I couldn't study, so I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna train and work at a restaurant.
Yeah.
And I started training with them. I did my first Pan Ams no-gi.
Okay.
I had zero experience in no-gi because I only do the gi.
Yeah, makes sense. The Peru is all gi, right?
So I came here, I did my first Panams, I got to the final. Honestly, I thought I won the final. I got robbed. You can go and watch it on Flow. I think I got robbed. So I got like a silver medal
Yeah.
on Panams, and then I went to Worlds.
Okay, so that was your first no-gi tournament?
First no-gi tournament.
Pan Am's what level? Purple?
Blue.
Blue. Okay,
Yeah,
so you did
Pan Am's
blue,
blue.
which is a huge bracket.
It is. I mean, I had 3 fights, but
You had to,
yeah.
but as an adult, you're doing an adult bracket.
Yeah. Yes.
Dang. So you got to the
I got all the way to the finals.
and then you got robbed there.
I got robbed there. And then I did Nogi Worlds, and I won that one.
At blue belt.
At blue belt.
And then you were stuck, or did it take some time for you to?
No, so it was so hard to process because it's like, guys, I'm not even doing this professionally. Like,
that's a flex.
yeah, so like this was literally my hobby, and now like I just went to Worlds and I dominated the whole division, and I'm a world champion now. Like, how was I supposed to process that?
Yeah.
And after that, I started like considering doing jiu-jitsu.
Oh, you didn't go right after that. You were still thinking about it.
Yeah, because
dude, because it's a huge move.
Yeah, and how am I going to explain to my dad that I don't want to go to college anymore?
Dude.
And I want to dedicate to jiu-jitsu? Like, that was a hard conversation.
Of course it's hard, especially when you made the move to focus on marine biology.
Yes, it was a hard conversation, and like, at least I had like one world title to kind of like have it on my side of the conversation, but I knew that was not, like, my dad wasn't going to understand that.
Yeah, I mean, does he train?
He doesn't train.
So yeah,
he's
so
a
like,
doctor.
makes it even harder. So not as he doesn't train, but also he's supporting the previous dream of becoming a marine biologist because he's in the field. That's a difficult conversation.
Yeah, so yes, I was.
But you're right. You have the.
Yeah, so it's like, but then I'm good at this.
Yeah.
Like, you gotta consider I'm actually good at this.
Yeah.
But I still like took a time to think about it.
Which is important.
Yes, and then I went and did like all the gi season, because since it was like right after COVID, that year started first no gi and then gi.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
And in gi,
didn't they cancel some of the circuit because of COVID?
I think that was in 2020.
Okay.
I got here in 2021, so it was like the first year after that.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes.
Got it.
In gi, I didn't do that great. Like, opens, I would win them.
Right.
Panams, I think I got second, and Worlds, I got third.
Okay.
And then I went to the open class. And
That's ski, right?
Yes, on the gi.
That's not bad either.
No, yeah, like, it's not bad. And then I went the next year into no gi as well. I went to Panams. I got DQ'd. It was so stupid. And then I went to Worlds, and I won that one.
You
as
won
a purple belt.
As a purple, dude. So you're just taking titles at each level.
Yeah. So I won Nogi Worlds as a blue belt. Next year I won Nogi Worlds as a purple belt.
Which is a big accomplishment.
I got my brown on the podium, and before that I was in Abu Dhabi, doing their gi worlds, and I got second.
At Abu Dhabi.
At Abu Dhabi. I paid for everything.
How was that experience like?
It was amazing.
Yeah.
It was amazing, because one, Abu Dhabi is just like beautiful.
Yeah.
And they put so much like effort into the sport, like investment as well, because it's like people, when they go to school, they do jiu-jitsu. It's part of their curriculum.
Like wrestling.
So yeah, so it's big in the country, and the event was awesome as well. The amount of girls that it's crazy, because I was fighting like all these big tournaments with IBJJF, and I already knew the girls in my division.
Yeah.
And then I went to Abu Dhabi, and I had no clue who any of them were.
Yeah.
Like, all from that side of the world.
Right.
And they had a good level. I'm not gonna say like they are more technical than over here, but they are way stronger. I don't know what they eat, I don't know what they do, but they were all so strong. And it was a battle. Like, I had a bunch of fights, like so many fights. And then I got all the way to the finals, and I lost by points, because advantage is points.
Yeah.
So I lost by points to Tamara Toros, who is really good.
Yeah.
Like, she fought Ana Rodriguez the next year, and that was a very close fight. So she's good. And then like in just like these 2 years that I wasn't even like training professionally, I already have like 2 world titles. I went all the way to Abu Dhabi, got to the finals. Like I had all these opens. Like I saw I was doing good on the sport.
And that's when you made that decision, like after the Abu Dhabi?
Yes, after that year.
So like at brown belt?
At brown belt, yes. After that year is when I went to my dad and I told him, Dad.
At brown belt?
At brown belt.
Okay.
I'm not gonna go back to college. Yes. I'm taking a break from it. Like if when I'm older I get injured or I just like decide jiu-jitsu is not for me, I'm gonna go back.
Yeah.
But for now I'm gonna take a break because I'm young, I'm in my 20s. If I'm gonna go and fight people, I better do it now than when I'm like 30 or 40.
Yeah, that's a good argument.
Right?
Yeah, it's true. You can always go back and study.
Yeah, like I can always like go back and go to college because you don't need to be 20 to go to college. You can do it whenever you want.
Yeah.
But you can't fight like professionally whenever you want because...
Obviously, if your father listens to this, don't hate me, but I agree with you.
Yes, like you can't. Dude, I'm fighting 16 years olds. 24, like Elena, she's 16.
Yeah.
Like that's just crazy.
No, I think you're right. Like, you have the age and you do have the talent to do it. Like,
I have to take advantage of it.
100%.
So I told him that, and he was like, he took some time to process, but then he was okay.
Yeah, I mean, everybody has their pathway in life, like, and this is obviously something that you're good at and you liked. I think that's really important when it comes to life, is doing what you like to do because you're willing to wake up and do it. You know what I mean? And I'm not saying you don't like marine biology.
Of
you probably
course.
have a passion for it as well.
But it's not the same as waking up and doing jiu-jitsu.
Yeah, of course. No.
Definitely. I dream about jiu-jitsu. Like I go to bed on Sundays excited because the next day I'm gonna be able to train jiu-jitsu.
You know how few people have that?
Yeah, people don't do that. People hate Mondays.
Yeah.
I love Mondays.
That's 100% correct. Like there's no, man, and I think that's such an important aspect of like finding what you're gonna do in life, is finding those Mondays, as we're putting it, as exciting. And if you have that, I mean, you're gonna be really good at it. I think that if you're able to do the work, right, without it seeming like work, and you're willing to put in as much as you can, you're gonna be successful at it. Like it's just not gonna happen.
Yes.
I mean, it's just gonna happen. So.
And you're gonna enjoy every part of it.
Right.
The highs and the lows.
Yeah, of course. Like your career has exploded probably since you got your black belt, right? Is when it's really popped off. Like you got the Atlanta, for the NWO fight to, who's number 1?
I was still a brown belt when I did that.
Okay, you're a brown belt.
I got the black belt after that.
Dude, in that match, honestly, I think you can beat her.
Honestly, me too.
I think you can beat her for sure.
After that match, if we were to redo it, I think I would do way better because like I seemed like I was confident and everything, but still like
more confident than other people that have faced her.
Yes, but still you gotta picture that I've been watching Elena do the division at ADCC Worlds with like all these high level athletes, and she was beating them. She beat everybody. She got second.
Yeah.
So it was like, dude, if she's like dominating these girls like that, like,
yeah, you did.
How am I gonna do against her?
But did you feel that way when you were like, did you feel a sense of doubt going into that match?
Not at all.
Yeah, you didn't seem like it.
No, like I knew she was a good grappler and that she was at high level.
Yeah.
But I also knew that I was as well.
Yeah.
You know, like if we were gonna go head to head, I knew I was gonna do good. Like I had the confidence that, but still, like it was like this little bug in my head saying like, look where she is, like something big. But after I fought her, like, yeah, she's very technical, she's very flexible, but strength-wise.
Yeah, I think you can take it. And I think I was thinking about this during the match. If there was a way that a scramble was created, the probably you'd get it. Yeah. And I think we kind of saw that when she went against Galval, and well, it's also the gi.
Yeah, it's the gi.
It's also the gi. Yeah, it's different.
I saw that, and honestly, like that's not the same Elena as in no gi.
No, it's not.
She's good at gi and everything, but it's not the same.
She's probably been focusing more on no gi, but what helped was that you're able to grip that gi and lift your hips off the mat. So that's not gonna.
Yes, and she can do leg locks. Like she can go and heel hook you.
Yeah,
that's all she does in no gi.
Yeah, it's also true. But anyways, so let's get back to where we were at. So you did the ADCC as a brown belt in Abu Dhabi, right? Not the ADCC. You did the Abu Dhabi World Championships as a brown belt, right? You came back
purple.
As a purple.
Yes, I came back I did Nogi Worlds as a purple one, and then I got the brown.
Then you're in brown belt. So what happens after that?
So after that, I did gi, I did Panams, I got third. I did Worlds, I got third. Then I did Nogi again. I did Panams, I won. And then I went to Nogi Worlds, and I won my first fight. The semis was against this Miranda Maverick. She's an UFC fighter.
Yeah.
And dude, you have to see that match. I uploaded it on YouTube.
When did you upload it?
A couple days ago.
Okay, I missed it.
Okay, a couple days ago. But that match was a whole scramble.
Yeah?
Like, it was 6 minutes. I started pulling guard. I locked the triangle straight away. But you know how UFC fighters are tough?
Yeah.
Like, it's hard to sub them.
Yeah.
It was hard. It was hard to finish that triangle. And then my legs got tired, and she got out, and I ended up on bottom half guard. Her with the underhook, me smashed. But then I fought my way out of that. We got up. I was gonna wrestle her, and I didn't know how to wrestle by then because I only learned after that.
Yeah.
So I did something crazy that I don't know how. Like, I ended up like tripping her into a bolo, but I didn't finish the bolo on the back.
Kind of like a scramble.
Yes. I finished like on bottom half guard, and then she passed, but honestly, like, the referee gave the points way too fast.
Yeah.
Because she passed to mount, but then I recovered like right away. She got the points, she took my back, she got the points. I got out, landed on side control. Like, from her on my back, I landed straight on top side control, and I started going for the arms because we had like 30 seconds left. Like, I wasn't gonna beat her at points.
Yeah, you had to go for submission.
Yeah, I tried to sub her, I couldn't. And she ended up winning the match because of points. And then she went to the final, but she was like way too tired to even fight the final. And she lost against this girl that I beat on the finals of Panams.
So you have that jiu-jitsu math there.
Yeah.
That's my medal.
Jiu-Jitsu math, I won.
So she won, that means I won. I'm just saying.
Yeah, pretty much.
But what is, so now that you have this focus on jiu-jitsu now, and you made that decision to kind of pursue this, right? What does your day-to-day look like?
My day-to-day? Well, right now, it's a little different because I tore my meniscus.
Yeah.
So I'm coming like out of surgery, but
when did you tore? I knew that you tore your meniscus.
December.
In December. Okay.
Christmas. No, actually no. It wasn't that. It was January.
Was it in competition?
It started in a competition.
Oh, so it was gradual.
Like, my knee came out in a competition, and after that, every time like I squatted way too low, my knee would come out.
Was it torn then?
I think it was torn then.
And you're like, fuck it.
I had no clue. Like, it didn't hurt.
I mean, the knee came out.
Yeah, my knee was coming out, but it wasn't hurting. So, like, I don't know. In my head, I'm fine. I wasn't. Yeah, because then I squatted too low, and my knee came out, but I usually would just like kick, and it would come back to place. I kicked, and
That's wild, bro.
It didn't come back to place.
It did not that time. But even saying that, like, you're like, oh, I would just do that, and it would come back to place.
Look, people that have like knee issues, they're gonna get this because knees come out and everybody has their own ways to like get it back in place.
Yeah.
Like, it's something you live with.
Okay.
Until you don't. You know?
So you did the squat, you were squatting, is that what you said?
I was training.
You were doing like jiu-jitsu?
Yeah, I was training. I was getting armbarred, so I kind of like squatted to like defend my arm, and then my knee just like came out. But the thing is that the meniscus, it tore in half, and one half got stuck in between my femur and my tibia.
Wow.
Yeah, so it got locked. So when I tried to stretch, like, there would be something in between the bones.
And you would feel that.
It would hurt so bad. Like, it hurted so bad. I went straight to the clinic.
Yeah.
To my dad's clinic. Thank God my dad is a doctor.
Oh, that happened over in
Peru. Thank God it was in Peru. If it was here,
the
depth I would have right now.
That's crazy. That's crazy. That's good that it happened. I mean, it's not good that it happened.
Of course, but if it was gonna happen, it was good. It happened then as well, like at that time, because it was January. I had nothing planned for like this year until Nogi season.
That's true. That's like you didn't have anything to worry.
No, I just finished fighting Elena. Like, it was like the end of the year, like off season.
Thank God it happened before that.
Yeah. So honestly, like, bad that it happened, but good that it happened when it did.
Yeah.
Because I was at home. I had my whole family to take care of me while I was like coming out of the surgery, and I didn't have anything big coming up.
Yeah. So maybe it was a much needed rest too.
Yeah.
So how did recovery look like?
So it's the first week I spent it in bed. I was going crazy. I didn't know what was day, what was night.
I can imagine that shift from training the way that you were training to going to
Yes, and just like being a whole week in bed. I was on a lot of drugs as well for the pain, so I would just like wake up, sleep. I lost track of time. The second week was better because it wasn't hurting that bad, so I could like walk with the crutches. I was going to the gym, starting to do upper body, like get active again. Yes, I did a lot of therapy.
That's smart though. Like you like even though you were in pain, you were kind of deciding to not stay stagnant and kind of just find a way to get better.
I was gonna go crazy.
Yeah.
Like actually crazy. I had nothing else to do. I was watching Netflix. I saw the whole series of Breaking Bad in 2 days.
What?
Yes.
How many seasons is that?
8. Like the episodes are like an hour long.
Dude, that's wild.
Yeah, like okay, maybe not 2 days, but like 3.
No, but I get you.
Yeah, like it was like very fast. So I was going crazy, and then I started going to the gym.
There's only so much Netflix you can watch.
Yes, exactly. I was going to the gym. I was doing a lot of upper body. I was doing physical therapy. I think that what was hardest out of the recovery was not being able to walk. I couldn't step.
Yeah.
I know like when you do like the ligaments, like you can step, but meniscus you can't because you can't put pressure on the knee. So what was hardest for me was having to like walk with the crutches for a month and a half.
So when you got injured, you were visiting Peru, right? And how long were you expecting to like stay there?
2 weeks.
So you stayed there for a longer time?
For 3 months.
Oh man.
Yes.
That's also, I mean, on the bright side, you got to spend time with family, right?
I think it was good.
Yeah.
Like at that time I didn't see it, but now that I'm back, it was good.
Yeah, you got to reset.
Yeah, it helped me to like rest of everything, like not just physically but mentally as well.
Yeah.
Because when I moved to the USA, I moved by myself. So I came with a friend, but like economic support, that was all me. Like all the adulting responsibilities that I had never experienced before, that was like all on me. So I pretty much switched from being like a child to being an adult.
Yeah.
Like that, yes.
Quickly.
And I've been like that for 4 years. So being able to go back home and be a child again.
Yeah.
Have people cooking for you, have people like doing your laundry, cleaning the house, and you're just like chilling. It was good.
Yeah,
like,
I mean, it's a balance between like a mental, like mentally it was probably tough because it's like it's an injury, right? There's a mental component that has to come with recovering from injury, but at the same time you got that responsibility, kind of the responsibilities of being an adult and all that stuff that comes when you moved kind of set aside and you were able to like enjoy your family and all that stuff.
Yes, I was able to enjoy them, yes, because I also like haven't seen them for so long. My sister, like.
Yeah, it's got to be tough. I mean, training over here and doing, and first of all, coming over here with an idea of what you want to do and then switching that on the dime, like that's a major life decision that you made. So you made one major life decision, which was moving, and while you were pursuing that career path, you made another huge one at a place that wasn't Peru with your family and all that stuff. That's tough.
Yeah, so I feel like I've just like been carrying this like all these years and making like all these like big decisions also in tournaments. Like fighting jiu-jitsu is not easy.
No.
Like mentally it's not easy. Like you need to have some coaching. So it's just like been a lot in so like little time and being able to go there and literally just like rest. Like I couldn't do anything. I literally like couldn't do anything because of the leg. So it was good to take that break.
Yeah, now how's your knee feel now?
Way better.
Yeah?
It doesn't hurt. Like I'm training.
Yeah.
The doctor told me I wouldn't be able to train until like the 4th month. It's been 2 and a couple weeks, and today I trained and I felt like my body was normal again. That's
great. I think that a lot of times doctors tell you like what the average human, like non-athlete people are gonna do. So they tell you like, oh, it's gonna take 4 months, but people that are athletic and go crazy if they're in bed, They
Yeah.
tend to recover a lot quicker.
No, when I had one of the doctor's visits, my question always was like, when I'm gonna be able to walk without the crutches. Like, I just wanted to walk. I just wanted to be free. And he was like, you're probably gonna use the crutches for the first 2 months, and then you can start like walking with one. You know,
not even completely off.
No, he said that. I started crying.
Yeah.
Like, that broke me.
That's rough.
I like, bro, I can't be 2 months without like walking by myself.
Yeah, and you just came off of like, I mean, you're coming off wins and tournaments and gold medals and
like I felt like my career was just like going up so fast. I just got the black belt.
Yeah.
Like 2 weeks before that. Like I didn't even like get to like really use the black belt, you know?
Yeah.
And from all like that going up, having to take a pause.
Nah, a stop. Like it's
It was
also got to
hard.
be some. I mean, I don't know if it happened to you, but it happens to a lot of people that are competitive in sports. When that type of injury happens, especially like a ligament in the knee, they start thinking, "Oh man, am I going to be able to recover from this?" And that's got to be rough. I don't know if you went through that.
I didn't.
That's good.
The doctor told me like my recovery, there is a chance that I don't go back to 100%, but I just chose not to believe him. Yeah, I just chose to not believe that.
Yeah.
You know, like, I'm gonna get back to 100%. I'm gonna be the same athlete I was before. Like, maybe you don't want to say that to me, but I know that's gonna happen.
Right.
So that didn't shock me at all.
They do that a lot. Like I had a brother that he broke his back, and they said that he wasn't going to be able to walk anymore. He's completely fine now, but they tell him, "Oh, you're not going to walk anymore." But I think it really varies on the person's mental state. You know what I mean, and their ability to deal with tough. And obviously, you proved that with the move that you did. You moved by yourself, not even thinking about jiu-jitsu, then jumping, and then saying, "I'm not going to be a marine biologist. I'm going to be a jiu-jitsu. I'm going to focus on jiu-jitsu 100%." And now the knee. So like you've had a lot of like tough decisions that you've made, and also like obstacles that, especially that injury that you got, and you've overcome those. So you got to be excited for what's coming next, what's coming down the pipe.
I am so excited.
Yeah.
I'm so excited because I'm also like, I've been watching a lot these last like months that I couldn't be fighting, which is something like I've also only realized it now, because since I got here, I have always been the athlete. Like I've always been the show. I never was the spectator. So now that I have been the spectator and I'm watching the show, I just want to be part of the show so bad again.
Yeah.
And I'm also like watching these people and like seeing them do these crazy things. And before, like when I go to fight, I'm thinking I want to win. Now I'm thinking I want to put on a show. Like now that I know what being the spectators feels like, I'm being like so anxious for this event.
Yeah.
And watching like these fights and then seeing that they don't do anything.
Yeah.
You know, like being so anxious for a fight and just have these two people like not risking anything because they're afraid to lose. I don't want to do that.
That's a major shift.
Yeah, no, I want to be the one that goes and does jiu-jitsu and have fun doing it and just puts on a show.
That's a good point that you just brought up, the sense of the spectator component, and that also like gears to more marketability. You know what I mean? Like if you're active and you're a fighter a competitor that's looking for, you know, to be in favor of the people that are watching without hindering you winning, right?
Of course.
There's a balance there, but that's going to make it a lot more interesting for whatever person that's watching your matches, you know?
Yeah, so right now, I just want to be there.
Which is good, because also you're really good at scrambling, so...
Exactly, right?
It lines up exactly what you're really good at with the scrambling, so it's, you just create a bunch of scrambles and stuff.
Yeah, like before I was scrambling, not on purpose, it just happened. Now I'm going to do it on purpose.
You think that, like, I can imagine that you feel very secure with your defense, right?
Oh, I do.
Do you think that helps with I'm sorry to bring it back to the scrambling, but I'm just really curious about that. Like, what do you think that helps with your mentality when it going into like uncertainty and chaos?
100%.
Yeah, right.
Yes, because I'm going knowing that one, they're not gonna score, and two, they're not gonna sub me. Like if I'm gonna just like throw myself in there, I know that if I happen to land on a bad spot, I'm gonna come out. And how do I know that? Training.
Yeah.
Like training, especially at fight sports, like I had these higher belts that would just like beat me up so bad, and it got to a point where like my training was just like, don't get subbed.
It's just survive.
Yeah, especially with Jasmine Rocha, she's so good at heel hooks and leg locks, and I was a blue belt. I had like no idea what a heel hook was or how to start like defending it. She would like get me on so many leg locks that it got to a point I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna like not get into that. Like if I go with you and I don't get subbed by a leg lock, I won.
Like, yes.
Like you can do a triangle, armbar choke, whatever, but if it's not a leg lock, I won.
Yeah, you came out after being somebody like, yes.
Yes, and honestly with Elena, like that's what gave me the confidence, you know?
That's a good point.
Yeah, like I know that I'm not gonna get subbed by leg locks because I've been 3 years training that.
Yeah, you've been dealing with
like,
Jasmine, which is high level.
She's so good.
Like you were, it's crazy because you came here, you came to Miami of all places, which you could have gone to any other state. Well, I don't know any other state, but to study whatever, you know, marine biology. I'm sure there's other states that have really good programs as well. But you came to Miami, and your hobby was jiu-jitsu, but then you also landed in like a hotbed of jiu-jitsu, like fight sports. You were out of Haven, now you're Atos, like this. Like you landed in a place that's really good, has high level jiu-jitsu, and that's just the luck of the draw.
I think it was destiny.
Yeah.
Like it was just meant to be.
Yeah, I think that subconsciously people kind of will drag themselves to the place that they want to go without even noticing it. Does that make sense?
Yeah, like something just like calls you.
Yeah, like that place it may be not the main reason that you're going. Like in your head it was to be a marine biologist, but I think that sometimes it'll draw you, like there's something that pulls you into where you need to be. Like if you're open-minded.
Exactly. I feel like that's how I go through life.
Yeah.
I'm just open-minded.
Right.
You know, like I see what I have in front, and it's like there's so many opportunities that if you are just like focused on one thing, you go blind to everything else. But if you go through life open-minded and you see all the opportunities you have in front of you, then you're gonna be more wise to choose.
Right. No, I agree, and I think that's. Promise, I'm kind of like that too. So like I think that the best way to go through life is that way, is the way of like open-mindedness, because if not, you get stuck in a career that you don't want to be, and then you're 40, 50, 60, and you're like,
I will be a doctor.
You would be a doctor, which I love how we're saying it in a way like
which is like it's good, it's amazing, but dude, I'd rather be a jiu-jitsu athlete. Like I'd rather be fighting people.
So, I mean that's a great, because now you get stuck, and then you retire at 65, and you're like, I wasted all this time doing something I didn't want to do in the first place. Like that open-mindedness, that's also good for actual jiu-jitsu too, like training.
Yes.
You know what I mean? It allows you to cross-train, and which you've done, and like pick up stuff from other people that you wouldn't do if you were just focused on whatever they told you. You know what I mean?
Yes. So after I left fight sports, like I tried out so many gyms. Yeah. Because in Miami, like besides fight sports and maybe like Wagner Rocha, there are not other like, okay, maybe Alpha too. Okay. Like, but those are like the 3 biggest gyms here in Miami. Right. So I was just like going around. I landed on Outer Heaven. Yeah. They had such a technical level. Like, that's what I hear. Yes, I feel like fight sports was more no-gi. Outer Heaven is gi. Yeah, that's what I hear too. They are so technical in the gi. Not to say they're not good at no-gi, but I've heard like a lot of the people that I've interviewed or been on the podcast have told me, you want to get the smoke in gi, go to Outer Haven, you open mat. Go there. Yeah, because before my gi game was lapel. That's all I did. I learned that when I was a white belt in Peru. And I've just like been working that and evolving that, and that's all I did. I got to Outer Heaven, and my Eka brothers, they only do, I mean, not only, but they do a lot of like lasso spider and the double sleeve guard. I had no clue how to do that or even like retain my guard. Yeah, and then you got Serp over there too, right? Yes. So I spent like a couple months training with them, and now I pull guard, and the first thing I do is put a lasso. Yeah. Which is like, I used to pull to the la riva, grab the lapel, and just like tie myself there. Yeah. Now I'm like pulling to lasso. Yeah. And I know what to do with the lasso, I know what to do with the spider, I know how to retain, attack. Like, I feel like my gi game has improved a lot with them. And now I went back to, well, not back, but I went to Atos with Maggie and Lucas to get ready for Nogi, for my fight with Elena. Especially. Oh, I see what, okay. I get what you're doing. Yes. So now I went back with them, and I think the training there was perfect because one, Lucas is such a jiu-jitsu nerd. Like, he just studies so much jiu-jitsu. He remembers all the fights, what happened, who fought who, what did they do, like what are they good at, and he teaches that. And he has such a passion for teaching.
Two of like the most important things to be a good coach.
Yes, like you go to a class, and I feel like having like an hour class kind of like limits him on doing this much position and then this much training, because if it was for him, he would be like 3 hours showing one position, like so much detail that's in his head, it's just crazy. And then I had Maggie to train with, which is great as well. Like, she's so strong, she's very technical, like she has like this tough game, which is good. And then they also have like a lot of girls. They have such a big like female team there,
which is important. Like my wife trains, and you guys were talking about it right before. Like, she's always looking for. She trains at Ground Game, and they're a bunch of studs over there. Really, it's an up and coming really good gym, but the female ratio is low, so she's always looking for females to train with, and that's such an important aspect. Is finding training partners that that will mimic what you're gonna face in competition.
Yes, there you have everything.
That's great.
You have all the sizes, all ages, all levels, everybody with a different game.
Yeah.
So that was good because it helps you like feel different bodies and different games, which I don't think I have like ever experienced that before. Like at Fight Sports, there were girls, but when I used to go to pro training, it was just me and Jasmine.
Yeah.
Like, it was just us going head to head, maybe like a couple other girls, but it was just us. Now that I go to Lira, I have so many options.
Dude, which is going head to head with Jasmine for how many hours of pro training is great training. Yeah. 2 hours is great training.
Yes.
But it's what you're saying. You need like a Rolodex of bodies in order to know what's coming at you.
Yeah, because then let's say you go to fight. Okay, so exactly. Jasmine, she's very good. She's very good at leg locks, and she's like very technical and everything. But she has an open game. Now I go to fight Mo Black, which her game is not open at all, and it's like, what do I do? Yeah. Like, she's not coming at me.
She's being kind of cagey.
Like I have to go at her, but I'm not used to do that because I never go at Jasmine.
Right, because the dominating force is going to take over.
Yes, so I think that would be like one of the best things of cross training, that you get to train with so many people that has so many styles, and you get to like, you can also like read people, you know, you see, okay, this person has this style, this person has this style. Let's say I'm gonna fight somebody that has like a certain style. I know who has a similar style. For that camp, I'm just gonna train with her.
Yeah, that's great.
You know, you get to know different people.
Yeah, I think it's great that you have that availability now, and you know, that you're able to have like those people that you can go to in order. That's so important, especially when it comes to, I don't need to tell you, like, in order to develop and get to the highest level, like, you have to have that ability to train with these people and that have these different styles, because you're not going to have the same style whenever you compete on.
Yes, no, and you also improve, like, you learn.
Right.
You learn from other people. If you're always like at the same gym with the same professors and same students, like, you can only learn so much. Then you go to a different gym, they have a totally different type of game. Yeah. You go and you learn from that. You go somewhere else.
Do you still cross train a lot?
Right now, no, but yes. Like right now, no, because of the knee.
Right.
But yes.
Yeah, like saying hypothetically that you're not in recovery, or I think you just said the first time you felt 100% was recently.
Yes.
Like if you were 100%.
If I was 100% now, I would be cross training.
And how does that look for you, like cross training wise? Do you do it like once a month or like once a week? How does it look?
Yeah, maybe like open mats.
Oh, okay.
You know, like let's say I know this girl is training at a certain gym. Like, hey, how's training there? Can I go and visit by? Yeah. Just go once, see how it is, see how the vibe is. Maybe like it's a gym you want to go more often. You can go like every couple weeks. But yeah, something like that.
That's good. That's good that you have that. And so you have like a web of gyms that you go and you cross train at, right? That's awesome. I was gonna ask you, are you more focused in nogi? Because what's the reason behind it?
Okay, so honestly, I've always been a gi girl.
Yeah.
Like jiu-jitsu was with the gi. I only started doing nogi here, but then I started fighting nogi, and I was doing way better at competition. Yes, than I was doing in the gi, and I realized it's because it's so much easier to do scrambles in nogi than in the gi. My problem with the gi is I'm very technical, but if they like grab and just like hold me, it's hard to move, and then you have to like break the grips. You do something, they grab you again, they stall. Like
the stalling.
It's a different type of game, and like I want to be free.
Yeah, I get it. It's more exciting. The nogi is more exciting. For sure,
yes,
for that
also,
specifically.
Also, like now, all the events are in nogi.
Yeah.
Who's number one is nogi. UFC Fight Pass is nogi. There are like a couple with the gi, but they're all nogi. Super fights, they're nogi.
Yeah.
Open classes like with a cash prize, they're nogi.
Yeah.
ADCC is nogi.
It's also more. It's easier for the spectator to understand. I think with nogi, like it kind of if you don't know anything about jiu-jitsu, it kind of looks like wrestling. You know, you want the other person to kind of tap, and it's easier to digest. But when you have somebody in the gi and they're doing a de la hivo or a lasso and it's stalling there and they're not really understanding the detail of what needs to be done, it's not going to be as exciting.
Yeah, they get lost. Also, like most people, they watch UFC. Like that's the main platform. UFC, like you see nogi, and if you see nogi and UFC, like it's kind of similar, like the wrestling and the subs and the grappling, everything. The gi. Honestly, I think it's kind of like boring to watch. Yeah,
it is. And there's not anybody that's really pushing or putting money into. I mean, I think that the UFC just put $10 to $12 million in jiu-jitsu, and there's nobody doing that for the gi.
That's crazy, yeah.
Like you have the IBJJF, and the IBJJF is under heat now because they're not paying their athletes, which pay your athletes. But I think that, you know, if you have two avenues, you're a jiu-jitsu person, you can tell me if I'm wrong, but if you have a way to make money off competition and it's more exciting, you're obviously going to go the other route.
Yeah, you're going to go nogi.
You're going to go nogi.
Yeah, like if you want to make money out of jiu-jitsu, you're going to go nogi.
Yeah.
Unless you're like a really good gi grappler, like Ana Rodriguez, let's say. You know, like she's fine with the gi, she can stay with the gi, but everybody else, like if you want to make money, you might as well.
Or you got to be a Jimenez, bro. Roberto Jimenez is a great. I saw him in the pans this way, and he was exciting. But a lot of people, they don't, like you said, like to your point that you were saying earlier, that they don't think about the excitement, they think about taking away the win. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's got to be like, I mean, there doesn't have to be, but thinking that way in terms of like, I want to make this my style spectator friendly, which it already kind of is there a sense of like, you have to let go of fear a little bit when you go in to compete? Do you get what I'm saying?
Like fear?
Like, okay, so maybe when you go to compete, right, and you're doing it just for the medal, you're kind of, I don't know if the word's fear, I guess.
Okay, yes, I get what you're saying.
Like you're thinking about
like you hold back.
Like worry, right?
Like like you don't want to risk it.
Right, that's the word.
You know, let's say like you're winning by 2 points, you have a minute left, you're not going to risk getting swept, so you're just going to stall.
Right.
Yes, I think it depends a lot how you walk into the match.
Interesting.
You know, like if you walk saying this is gonna be a hard fight, I might lose, then you start doubting it, and then you start like holding back. But if you walk saying I got this, then you're gonna go and you're just gonna like loosen up.
Yeah.
You know, because you know you got this. Like you know you got it. You know you're gonna win. You might as well just go and do jiu-jitsu.
And how do you get yourself there mentally?
It's been changing. Like it's been a process. At the beginning, I was like that. I was like, I have to go and I have to win.
Okay.
And I felt like I didn't enjoy it at all. Like it was just very stressful, you know, like having to win.
You put like pressure on yourself?
Yes, like a lot of pressure. Like I can't lose. I wasn't enjoying it. I was stressing out. Like days before a tournament, it was be like so bad. And then I started thinking, you know what, like I might not be the best in the division, but I know I can win if I go to fight. And then I started having fun.
Okay.
Yes, because I would see like the other girl and I was not thinking I have to beat her. I was thinking I'm going to go and I'm going to fight her.
Yeah.
Like I'm going to go and I'm going to sub her.
Yeah.
And that just like switched my mentality.
Interesting. So you're not thinking like, you're thinking I'm going to sub her? You're not thinking I'm going to beat her?
No, I think I'm going to sub her. Like, I want to go and I want to dominate that fight.
That's interesting. Well, yeah, I guess that's because the way that I'm thinking about it right now is like you're thinking about winning and submission, right? But you make a distinction between the two, which is interesting to me. I don't know. What's the distinction for you?
I think it's that if I go into a fight and I say I want to win, I'm gonna be okay with winning by points.
Oh, okay. I see what you're saying. Yeah.
Yeah, like if I go into a fight and like I need to win this, I pass and mount, I got my points, I'm winning, I'm okay.
I see what you're saying now.
Yeah.
I get what you're saying.
No.
It kind of takes away that it kind of ignores the point. Not saying that you do that when you compete, but it kind of ignores the point aspect because the main goal, which should be everybody's goal when they go out to compete, is like that submission.
Yeah,
fight for submission.
Like if you really want to be the best, you should be subbing everybody.
100%.
Yeah, so if you go and you're not thinking about subbing everybody, like
you're thinking about winning by points. Yeah.
Yeah, like is a win by points like really a win?
Yeah, especially if it's like an advantage.
No.
No, but I get what you're saying. Like it's definitely, and it makes you stylistically better, I think, because if you're focused on submission, not really training for points.
Yeah, no, I want to go and I want to sub.
Yeah.
Like, of course, if I say that the sub is not happening, I'm gonna secure the win by points.
Right.
But I want to sub.
Yeah, it's sub first, of course. That's interesting.
And that just like makes the match exciting because if you're winning by points, you're gonna keep going until you get the sub.
Yeah.
And if you have enough points, like they can make a couple points on you, but you're still gonna be good.
Yeah.
You know, like you're still gonna be looking for.
And either way, people train for. You didn't start jiu-jitsu to fucking score points. Nobody. I don't think anybody's like, I want to be the best point scorer on the mats, bro. Like it's definitely you going in because you want to submit. You want to learn to submit people. So it just goes back to the nature of why you started, and why anybody started jiu-jitsu was to learn how to submit people and not get submitted. But some people lose their way though.
Control and dominate someone. And if you want, break them. That's why people do
breaking
jiu-jitsu.
people.
Yeah, like that's why people do jiu-jitsu. You know?
Yeah,
like,
no, 100%.
You want to learn how to fight. You want to learn how to control someone, and if you need, you want to know how to break them.
Yeah.
So that's a sub.
But when you said you wanted to start martial arts in the beginning, was that for self-defense purposes?
I don't know. They were just calling me. Like I wasn't even watching UFC.
Yeah.
I just knew that I wanted to learn how to fight. I thought that was cool.
So you would have been cool going to like another martial art then. Like it was just by chance that you ended up in jiu-jitsu?
It was by chance I ended up in jiu-jitsu. Yes, I could have gone to karate or taekwondo. Yeah.
That's wild.
It was just chance. It was jiu-jitsu. Like I had a friend, and he told me like there is a jiu-jitsu school like a couple blocks from your house. You should go and try it out.
And you didn't know anything about jiu-jitsu?
I had no idea. No idea how it worked. I've never seen jiu-jitsu before. I was like, okay, I'm going. I'll try it out.
That's so crazy. Like you could have been like a karate champion. You know what I mean?
Yeah, thank God I'm not.
Yeah, like a karate champion, and you've been in a different podcast talking about karate. Or maybe you wouldn't have liked it.
Yeah, you never know. You never know. But as I'm saying, I think life just has its ways to like being. I don't know.
I agree with you. I think there's something that always pulls you into the right spot if you're open-minded to it. Like if you lock down, like I said, like if you lock down, you're not gonna be aware of what's pulling you. I agree with you on it. So what does the future look like for you? The future, I mean, like now that you're recovering, like what is it that you're working towards?
So right now, I'm working towards like fighting. Right now I just want to fight. I want to like be part of events. I know there's like who's number ones coming along the year. I want to be there.
Yeah.
I want to be at UFC as well.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
I would love to be at
the
UFC
Fight Pass Invitational?
Yes,
That'd
I would
be
love
awesome.
it. I want to like get ready for the next ADCC as well. Like
Which is next year.
Yes,
right?
2026.
So then trials is what, September?
End of the year probably.
End of the year. Yes.
Yeah, like the first trials, not the ones that count.
Right.
At least not for the girls.
Yeah. Not the ones that count?
Yeah, no.
Explain that to me, because I'm.
Yeah, the girls, like the North America and the South America, they have two trials, but only one counts for girls.
Really?
Yes.
So if you compete in South American trials, they don't. How does that?
So South America, there's 2 trials. Last year there was one in Sao Paulo, and the other one I don't even remember where it was. The first one didn't count. If you win that, they invite you to the second one.
To second trials?
But only the second one counts for the girls because there's like less people in the division as well.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that. So if you don't win the second one,
you don't go.
Oh, so you have to win the first one.
No, if you don't win the second one, you don't go.
I'm sorry. I mean, so in order for you to go to the second one, you have to win the first one?
No, you can't just sign up to it. You can't just decide not to do the first one. I didn't do the first one.
Oh, okay.
I went straight to the second one.
So why doesn't more people just go straight to the second one?
I don't know. Like, I'm guessing the girls that went to the first one would like to try it out or whatever. But sense. It was like 2 weeks away from the second one. Why would you fight so
that doesn't make
close?
Sense.
Yes.
I'm sure they have a reason for it, but that doesn't make sense.
Yes, at least in South America. North America, they're gonna have the first ones at the end of the year, and the second ones are gonna be like on 2026.
Oh, okay. So you're gonna probably do the second ones then.
I'll do both. North America, I'll do both because there's like a long time between the two trials. Okay. Just like the practice.
That's actually pretty good. That you can kind of like do that first trial, and then especially since they're not so far away, you do that first trial and you kind of get a feel for it, and then you can go to the second. But if you wanted to, you could skip that first and go to the second.
Yes.
Kind of like a tryout.
Yes, literally.
That's awesome.
So that's what in my mind right now, just like finding fights.
So you're trying to find I'm sure you'll get somebody who's number one. It'd be dumb not to. So are they talking to you or no?
Not yet.
No, because of the knee.
Yeah, me and the leader, we're working on it, but we also have to see dates.
Yeah.
Because the date is going to be very important to decide if I can fight or not.
But I heard they're starting to do more events.
They're doing so many along the year. So hopefully I'm going to catch a couple of those.
For sure, bro. You will.
Yes.
You will.
But right now I'm just focusing on that.
That's awesome. So we have a couple minutes left. Is there anything that we didn't cover you don't want to talk about? That you want to talk about? Floor is yours.
I think we covered a lot. Is there anything you want to talk about?
Man, I could keep talking for another hour, but if I keep talking for another hour, my wife's gonna come in and say, "You left me outside for this long." She's gonna hate me. But let me think. The most important thing for me was to talk about your ability to scramble. I was really interested because it's hard to get good at scrambling.
Okay, and you know what? It's getting even better.
Yeah?
Yes, because right now that I have been training.
How is it getting better?
So I'm getting more creative.
Oh, okay.
Yes, because I have been training, but I wasn't being able to use this leg because of the knee. So of course I'm not gonna be able to hold a position or do a technique clean because you need your whole body for that. So what I'm doing is I'm just going and I'm laying down and I'm okay, past my guard, I'm gonna get out of here. So I'm just scrambling my way out. I'm finding ways out without using this leg. So I'm getting more creative using the rest of my body.
That's interesting.
Finding different submissions, to say so.
Yeah, and also to create that scramble, obviously it's because of an injury, but since you're not being dependent on that injury and you have to find other ways out or to submit, it allows you to kind of see openings that other people wouldn't be able to see.
Or that maybe you didn't see before, because before I would just go to arm bars and triangles and maybe the back. Those were my free. Now I'm okay, how can I finish this person with what I have, or how can I get to a position that I'm gonna be able to finish? So I've been getting very creative in training lately, and these couple of days that I have been able to use my leg is getting even better.
So you recently started using your leg?
Recently, 3 days ago.
Do you feel like you're kind of getting used to it still?
Yes, but yes. There are certain things that I'm still not doing because I'm kind of scared. But
it's not because of pain. It's more because a mental thing.
It's more mental. I feel right now, the injury is more mental than physical. Because I have been today I trained.
Yeah.
I trained a normal open mat.
Okay.
And I didn't feel my knee at all. Nothing. It didn't even hurt.
What did your doctor say? When was the last time you saw your doctor? After you told him?
No, I haven't told him.
Oh.
Like, I'm seeing my physical therapist, and he's like, you're good to train as long as you are being careful.
Okay.
You know, because right now, what's could be risky is like the twisting motion.
Right, I'm doing that.
Yes, that I can't. Like, let's say, like, I wouldn't get myself in leg locks. I have my leg very far away. At least this one. This one, you can do whatever you want.
I mean.
Yeah, but my other leg is like far.
Yeah.
So as long as I'm not twisting my leg like this, I'm gonna be fine. Like, I can bend and push and like lean on it. I just can't twist.
Yeah.
So I'm just being careful with that. But my therapist says like it's good.
Yeah.
Just like careful, and if it hurts, stop.
Right.
My doctor, I'm gonna see him in a couple months when I go back to Peru to do like a follow-up and images and everything.
Yeah.
And then I'm gonna like tell him what has been going on.
After he's like, wow, this is amazing. He's like, yeah, you remember when I said I wasn't supposed to train? I've been doing that this entire time.
Yeah, but I'm doing good. Yeah, it's not hurting.
It's good. It's good, right? The leg's perfect. Okay, yeah, I've been training this whole time. I needed to tell you. That's awesome.
Yeah, it's gonna be something like that. So my doctor doesn't know yet.
Yeah, well, he's not gonna. Hopefully, he doesn't see this shit.
Hopefully.
Hopefully, fingers
I'm
crossed.
sorry.
I'm
trying my best.
It was a great episode. I really appreciate your time and driving out. I know it was a 30-minute drive.
Yes.
Appreciate you taking the time.
Of course.
Coming over here.
I wanted to be here and do this in person.
Yeah, I like
it's just like
better.
a different feeling. I didn't want to do it online.
Yeah, 100%. It's way better. But I always wanted to give you the option because I know you're coming from the north, right? North, yeah. So I always give people the option. I prefer in person too. Like the conversation flows a lot better than
it
does.
flows. Yeah, I
like
like it.
Online, you kind of feel like you're getting interviewed for a job, and I kind of feel like I'm interviewing somebody for the job. So I like to do it in person.
Yeah, no, that's why I told her, like, look, I could make it online last weekend.
Yeah.
But I don't want to.
Yeah, we didn't either.
Yeah, like I want to be there. So
Yeah.
let's do it this weekend where I have more time.
That was great. Thank you for coming on. Whenever you want to come back on and you have something to talk about, you're more than welcome to.
No, of course. I love this. Thank you for having me.
Yes.